Welcome to Dram Fine Whiskey. My name is Matt and today I'm going to show you how to make a Revolver, a cocktail that balances spice, sugar and coffee. The Revolver is a nice, simple 3-ingredient cocktail, and one of those ingredients is bitters. Because there's only 2 main ingredients in this drink, the spirits you use will have a huge impact on the final taste of your cocktail. When I was researching this cocktail, the original recipe called for bullet bourbon, but I'm using Maker's Mark. Myself and my wife actually taste tested small versions of this cocktail with Woodford Reserve, with Maker's Mark, with bullet bourbon, with Sazerac rye, Buffalo Trace whiskey, and Eagle Rare whiskey. Now her number 1 pick was Woodford Reserve followed by Maker's Mark, whereas mine was Maker's Mark followed by Woodford Reserve. And since this is my channel, I'm using Maker's Mark. One thing we both agreed on though was that Eagle Rare wasn't a good fit for this cocktail. Eagle Rare has lots of kind of oaky, dry notes that are very nice, but they don't really mix well with this cocktail. It needs more of a balance of spice. Buffalo Trace was surprisingly actually kind of bland in this cocktail. It didn't really stand up to the coffee liqueur, it just kind of faded away into the background, and Sazerac's rye also wasn't really a good fit for the drink. So if you use Maker's Mark, Woodford Reserve or Bullet Bourbon, you're probably going to have a good cocktail. It might just depend on the coffee liqueur you're using. This coffee liqueur is from Killowen. It's their Gloria coffee liqueur. Killowen are a really nice, small, kind of micro producer here in Ireland, and they make some really nice, really innovative products. This coffee liqueur is the Gloria. It's a mix of poitín and coffee that were left together to kind of mellow out for 6 months in a bourbon barrel. This has given it a nice depth of sweetness and nice round vanilla notes. It's not going to be as sharp as maybe the cold brew coffee liqueur you'll get from a Jameson, but it's also not going to be as cloyingly sweet as like a Kahlua, and it's not going to have really overpowering vanilla notes you might get from a Tia Maria. So like I said, depending on the coffee liqueurs and the whiskies you have available to you, you might just need to do a little bit of mixing and matching to find the right balance, to find the right levels, and to find the right liqueurs for you. Once you do, this is a really simple cocktail and it's really easy to enjoy, so let's get making it. This is a stirred drink, so we're going to get our mixing glass, we're going to get our cocktail glass, and we're going to put a rock of ice into each. This will allow our cocktail glass to chill out while we're making the cocktail. And the ingredients are also very simple. It's just going to be 2 ounces of your bourbon mixed with half an ounce of your coffee liqueur and then 2 dashes of orange bitters. So here we go with 2 ounces of Maker's Mark bourbon. And we're going to follow that with half an ounce of Killowen's Gloria coffee liqueur. And lastly, we're going to finish it off with 2 dashes of Angostura orange bitters. That's it, that's all there is to it. Now we're just going to stir it. I'd say stir it for about 20 to 30 seconds until you feel the outside of your glass get nice and chilled. At that point it's ready to serve. Okay, I've been stirring this about 30-35 seconds now and I think it's nicely chilled. So we're going to strain it out onto our rock of ice and then finish it with a garnish. So get our strainer, pour it onto that nice rock of ice. Perfect. Now for the garnish in this cocktail, I'm going to use an orange peel. I'm not going to add the orange peel to the drink though, because I don't want to add anything else that'll kind of add that dry tannic feeling to the cocktail. So instead I'm just going to flame the oils from it over the drink. It'll hit it with a nice layer of aroma. It'll add to that nice kind of coffee, kind of dark, sweet notes to the cocktail, and I think it goes really well. So we're just going to put our lighter up and squeeze the oils out like that, and that's going to add a nice depth of sweetness to the cocktail. If you're not subscribed yet, now might be a great time to do it. Just scroll down, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. I put a new cocktail recipe every Friday and I put a new whiskey review every Wednesday. So hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you again next time. So let's taste this cocktail. Immediately on bringing it up to my nose, you'd almost be forgiven for thinking that you've been served a Manhattan. Those orange aromas, those orange oils are very apparent, they're sitting on the top of the cocktail, but you do get that nice little bit of complexity behind it with that coffee note coming through. So on the nose already, it's a very nice cocktail. It's very kind of subtly complex. So let's go in for the taste. Okay. The Gloria actually has quite a lot of vanilla sweetness coming through it from those aging in bourbon barrels, and that's very apparent. Like the coffee note is nice, but it's well balanced with those sweetness, with the kind of vanilla notes in there. The poitín they use here, it's not actually a whiskey, it's a poitín, so it's quite a nice kind of neutral taste on it. It's nice and light and floral, so it's not going to add anything else to the cocktail that's going to unbalance it. So you get a nice sweetness, nice coffee, and a nice kind of aroma that really lets you enjoy the cocktail and enjoy the Maker's Mark whiskey. The whiskey itself is coming through nicely. There's a bit of spice, there's a bit of dryness in there, classic from the bourbon. It's just very nice, it's very well balanced. I think by experimenting with 6 different whiskies, I was able to hit the nail on the head with this cocktail. So like I said, your mileage may vary, but if you're able to get these 2 ingredients, I'd definitely encourage you to try it out. Yeah, and those orange bitters, they really round out the palate on this cocktail. It's nice, it kind of adds a subtle evolution to the cocktail without it being too kind of apparent. You get the orange aromas up front on the nose from flaming that orange peel, then you get your coffee note coming through, you get the tannic kind of spicy notes from the bourbon, and then the orange bitters kind of come through at the end, really adding a nice kind of different layer to the cocktail, making it one you can kind of go back at, you can enjoy it. I have no doubt that as this rock of ice kind of melts, it'll add some nice depth and complexity to it, much the same way that a rock of ice will melt in old fashioned and add a bit of evolution to the cocktail. So I think I'm going to go ahead and keep on enjoying this, and I'll see you next time. Sláinte.